Hello, yesterday we talked about the theme and Rheme, and today we're going to actually talk about them a little bit more details. And of course this one is not really just related to interpreting, it's relating to interpreting and translation as well. So it's not really just interpreting. When you are translating or when you are interpreting, you need to look at certain elements in the structure of the sentence. Now, there is, it's called thematic structure. It's a well-known that the clause, which is the sentence as a message, can be analyzed in two structures: thematic structure, information structure. And this is according to Halliday, or according to Prague School. I'm not going to talk about Prague School this time, next time, but this one is about Halliday. Each approach, of course, has a different way of analyzing the information, and translators need to be exposed to both styles in order to improve their translation skills as well as their interpreting skills, of course. Fries, in 1983, he prefers to both separate and combine the two approaches, the Prague School and the Halliday School. Let's have a look at what the Halliday School is for this time. Well, Halliday School, of course, let me just explain something here, that when I'm talking about textual equivalence, I'm talking about more than just grammar, okay? Because sometimes you might look for an equivalence which is at the level of grammar, or at the level of syntax, at the level of lexical choice of words. That's what other levels are. I'm not looking at that. I'm looking at the textual level. Textual level means the text as a whole. How does it stand on its own? Of course, this one is relating to the textual level. This is where the thematic structure is. And Halliday approach treats thematic structure and information structure separately. He talks about them separately. They're not linked together. His approach of separating to the information flow in a clause in a sentence, where the sentence or the clause consists of two segments. So in other words, when you look at the sentence, you look at the sentence in two different, as two segments. You don't say it's a subject, verb, object, and you don't say this is an adverb and this is a noun, this is a verb. You don't analyze it in this way. When you are analyzing it from a textual point of view, you analyze them as theme and Rheme. So how do you analyze a sentence dividing it into two segments of theme and Rheme? And what does it mean? What is meant by theme and Rheme as an expression? Well, Halliday has actually said that in a sentence or in a clause, the information that's flowing in the sentence has got the first element, which is theme. And theme is divided into, as it were, two parts. Usually theme, it's directing you. It's actually connecting what is before that sentence and what is going to be, what's happened before that sentence. It acts as a point of orientation by connecting back to previous stretches of discourse and thereby maintaining coherent idea. In other words, you are connecting ideas from previously. So the theme is linked, the theme of the sentence is linked to what previous sentences are saying. That's what theme is. It's known information, basically. And it acts as a point of departure. In other words, you are starting now to move forward by connecting forward and contributing to the development of later stretches. What does it mean? It means that you are actually starting from this theme to tell us more information. It's a starting point. The theme is a starting point in the sentence. I'm just going to give you an example in a minute which explains what I'm saying about the theme being the basis from which you are actually to start and develop your argument. And also it's the basis or orientation for what has happened before that sentence, what occurred before that sentence. Here's an example where But before we talk about the example, I'm going to talk about the Rheme, because the theme, we said that it's the basis, it's the one that's linking to what's happened before that sentence. So the information flow in the sentence, which is the theme, we know now what the theme is. It's the theme, it's linking to what's before. And it's a starting point to what comes after. The Rheme, however, is the second segment of the sentence. So the sentence is divided into the theme, which is the first segment of the sentence, but the Rheme is the second part of the sentence. Here is an example. Aristotle thought that the earth was stationary and that the sun, the moon, the planets, and the stars moved in circular orbits about the earth. Now here, if we are to look at this sentence, not grammatically, but from the information flow, how this whole sentence is flowing in terms of information. What are known information, what is unknown information, but it's called theme and Rheme here. For example, the word Aristotle is T, which is theme, and the word thought is Rheme. So the word Aristotle is actually a known to us as information which is linked to a previous information that we already know about Aristotle. We know who Aristotle is, and that's why it's theme. But then the word thought is something we don't know about, and it's new information. That's why when we started from Aristotle, we have learned that Aristotle, what about him? To move forward the argument, here we said Aristotle thought. So the word thought is the Rheme. And then we have the word that the earth, and the word the earth, or that the earth, all of it is, again, it's theme. T is for theme, and R for Rheme. So the earth is also information, a flow of information in the clause, which we already know, we have established from previous stretches of the text. So the earth is theme, was stationary is Rheme, and that the sun is another theme, the moon is another theme which is known, and the planet is another theme, and the stars, which is another theme. All of them are themes. The sun, the moon, and the stars, and the planets are all themes. And then moved in circular orbits around the earth is Rheme. So really what we have done here is we have analyzed this sentence into two segments of theme and Rheme. And we have seen that the theme is an orientation which is connecting back to previous stretches of discourse in order to make it more coherent, to maintain coherence. And it is a departure to start anew or move forward, connecting forward, contributing to the development of the later stretches. So that's what's happening here. Whereas the Rheme, which is the second segment of the sentence, has actually given us some, in the flow of information, has given us the Rheme. So we see how the theme and Rheme are actually divided from each other. So Aristotle is the theme, thought is a Rheme, the earth is a theme, was stationary is Rheme, the sun, the moon, the planets, and the stars are theme, and moved in circular orbits around the earth are Rheme. So Rheme is the new information, as it were, and was stationary is the new information, and thought is the new information. And Aristotle and the earth and the sun and the moon and the planets and the stars are all themes because they are already established and they are a departure point where you depart from. As you can see, it acts, theme acts as a point of departure by connecting forward, connecting to the ideas that come afterwards, after the theme. What comes after the theme is Rheme. That is really the basic element, which is Halliday's approach to information flow in a clause. And a clause is a sentence, of course. And as you can see, that the clause and the theme, as we said before, the theme is, the sentence is being divided between theme and Rheme, and then the theme is the one that's linking with stretches that are before that sentence, what has happened before the sentence, and you depart from that theme towards forward, moving on towards the Rheme. And the Rheme is the second segment of the sentence, which is telling us information. So this is the kind of information we are dividing the actual sentence into two segments, which is theme and Rheme. I hope that I've explained what theme and Rheme is, and this is not only for interpreting, it's for also translation. So always in translation, you need to know which one is the theme and which was the Rheme in a sentence, in the flow of information, so you can actually then be able to translate that sentence correctly. In terms of interpreting, you always look for the Rheme because the theme is already known. For example, you know that we're talking about Aristotle, so you think, yeah, what about Aristotle? We need to know the new information. And then you say, thought. That's the new information. And then the earth. What about the earth? Was stationary. So that's the Rheme. And about the sun, and then the sun and the moon and the planets and the stars, what about them? Moved in circular orbits around the earth. Thank you.